We're gonna call the meeting to order. And this is a formal meeting of the Alciano Elderly and Disabled Tax Fund Committee. It is December 11th. Yes, it is December 11th. And this is a public meeting that is being also recorded on Zoom. You may record this meeting, but I would hope that anybody who is doing so would notify me.
They must notify you.
They must notify. Okay, they must notify. So. Besides which, you can always see us on YouTube, because that's how I figure out our next month's agenda. All right, so I'll call the meeting to order. The first order of business is minutes. Do we have minutes?
Roll call of members.
Oh, okay.
You want this or in the agenda?
Yeah. All right. So present at the meeting today is the full complement of the committee, including Mandy Witten.
Roll call must be used because she's online, so we have to actually say.
Oh, okay. So would the people who are here please identify themselves, starting with our Zoom member?
Mandy Witten.
Patty Williams here.
Jim Geisman here.
Here. And David Rolston as chair. It's here. Okay. And do we have minutes to review?
The minutes were in my responsibility. I had to get a new phone. My laptop died, and so I don't have access to any of my emails and stuff right now. Still setting all that up. I think I should be able to by tonight, if not tomorrow.
Okay.
So
What is that from?
that is a Motorola. It's a Motorola Flip. I like how it's small.
All right, so we will forego the minutes and we will continue with our discussion. We're now at the point as indicated in the agenda of trying to discuss the fundraising efforts to get monies set up for the committee. So let's I thought I outlined where we were fairly well in the agenda itself.
For point of information.
Yeah.
So the donation made by the Housing for Hope Street has been accepted. It is legal. It is now in our possession. And that's $480 something, Mandy?
$482.36. And I did get the account opened. And it is at Greenfield Cooperative Bank.
So question.
It's sort of official. Wow.
So I know you were instrumental in making that happen today. So was the check made to the city of Greenfield or to like this committee specifically?
No, the Housing for Hope Street check was made to the city of Greenfield. However, it was considered a donation.
Correct.
And when one does a donation to the city of Greenfield, one can designate where it goes.
Okay.
So since I was there with the check in my hand, I designated with Mandy and she made sure it was legal. And so now we've been blessed.
Good.
So Mandy, well, I'm trying to figure out like as we proceed and get donations and people are being like, okay, I want to write a check. What is the process? So they
Can write it to the City of Greenfield Elderly and Disabled Tax Fund, or
okay,
they can just do City of Greenfield, but they need to
Specify
obviously make
somewhere.
specify what it's for, because the account is set up as City of Greenfield Elderly and Disabled Tax Fund Committee account.
So it would be simpler if we are soliciting funds for them to make it out specifically to the
Yes.
committee, because we are
That's what
officially in business. Okay.
Yeah, but we're not gonna be picky if they make it payable to the City of Greenfield either, and that's where they want it to go.
I'm sure you don't turn down many checks.
No.
All right. So any other progress information like that.
Yes.
Okay.
One more thing.
Go ahead.
So Al gave us a whole lot of information regarding vacant and foreclosing properties in terms of excess equity.
Right.
And I'm going to take that information and I'm going to craft an ordinance. And it will go before, the plan is for it to go before Appointments and Ordinances Committee of the Council in January.
Good.
That's the plan. Hopefully that will happen. So
And that, you
it
know,
looks, from my reading, and I read through everything he sent,
God bless you,
well, you know, it's really a very brilliant idea,
you know?
on his part.
Yeah.
I give him full credit for this. The, idea of it is, it goes, I mean, the language goes on and on and on, because obviously there was a whole deal around equity stealing.
Right.
And we got that corrected finally,
Mhm.
and that's been corrected. So now the language talks about how long the money can sit, where it has to sit for how long, how much notification has to be sent out in terms of in search of heirs, et
Mhm.
cetera, and so on. When it comes down to like I can't remember if I think it's 18 months.
Yeah. Okay.
Comes down to 18 months. In the 19th month, the city can say it's mine.
Right.
So if the city can say it's mine, then there should be a way it can be designated. So therefore, that's what the ordinance will say. When it comes down to the city saying it's ours, we are saying, really, but it's in this pile.
Yeah,
So to
That's
designate those funds legally
to the
to the
tax
elderly
fund.
disabled tax.
Exactly.
Okay.
And
That's
I-
what the ordinance will say.
And I assume like any ordinance, it'll have to go through, city
All the,
lawyer.
all of it, yes.
Yes. Okay.
And it's really going to be, pegged to, whatever the, Mass General laws
Yes,
that he cited.
exactly,
So per the,
exactly. I'm gonna write it up just like that.
yeah, so you don't have to repeat a lot of this.
Right,
Now, that's great.
exactly.
That is, I mean, I wonder, you know, do we have any concept of how much, I mean, that sounds like a potentially large source.
My understanding is, and I might be wrong. I was recently told that there is such a property in Greenfield,
Mhm.
that there is no one claiming.
Oh,
There's one property in
Yeah.
Greenfield that no one is claiming as of yet. But, you know, down the road, I mean, I don't understand how this could even happen, but it can happen apparently. People just walk away.
Yeah.
No one's claiming it. No one wants anything to do with it.
Yeah.
these are dilapidated buildings.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. But in terms of it being foreclosed upon, et cetera, sold, however it gets handled on the market.
Mm.
Minus what is owed in taxes, there's excess equity right there.
Yeah.
If they're,
If there is excess equity, and if anyone's claiming it, that's one thing, but if no one claims it. You know, after 18 months, at the 19th month,
It cheats to the city.
exactly,
This is really good because I've been trying to work out something like that
yeah,
at the council for a while. And it's mostly just been like, I love how you've made this into with collaboration with Al. You've made this into a formal thing where I've just been like, hey, Jimmy, can you promise you won't, you'll use the money? But I
No.
think this is the best way.
You have to-
Because Ginny won't stay here in perpetuity. You'll have different mayors,
yes,
you know, and
Yes.
some might have different priorities.
right, so
Budget,
this kind of, you know, on occasion, we can seal a deal.
yes.
These days, it's not so hard because things get, the law, as you know, gets skewed a lot these days, but in terms of this, I think we can get this done.
I
It's
think
gonna be a
it's
headache.
great for the perception of, as a general average civilian. When you look at, okay, what are the ways in which my city helps me, right? If in the process of taking someone's excess equity or taking their equity, right? They know that, hey, okay, the city is not in it for themselves, even if that doesn't happen generally. But with this legalization and this form, like putting it into a formal law,
Mhm.
you can then just in ordinance.
Yeah.
Just average public can be like, okay, the city is on my side. The city is helping people. It's in the business of making their material conditions better.
Exactly.
So I appreciate that. I think we'll have
We'll
a
see how it goes.
good time at the council.
Oh, no, but I think the council.
I think the
will love it.
council.
They're gonna love it. And A&O is gonna love it, I'm sure. I've already we had a little discussion, so.
That's really,
Engine 3,
that's really,
respond to medical alarm.
okay, so I'm having trouble reading what our next, sub-agenda item is.
Establishment of goals for finding
Yeah.
the recipients. We
Yeah.
do need to figure that one out.
Do we need to figure that out now, or is that?
No, we had said at the last meeting that we wanted an initial fund of $20,000.
Yeah. Yeah.
What we have not said, that we need to say at some point is, what does that mean in terms of number of recipients?
Mhm.
Do we have to, I think, have a amount?
Try
that's
to get the
available?
fund.
I mean, the top amount that we'd be giving out,
Not to exceed, so
Not to
yeah,
exceed,
not to exceed.
like $500.
something like that.
I was thinking like 1,000, but I'm pulling something out of it.
Even potentially a bottom amount, we don't want to be, we don't want to have, let's say.
No, we don't need a bottom because it's gonna be what they're owing in taxes.
Oh.
So if you owe $150 in
Yeah.
taxes, we're gonna do $150 in your name
Okay.
to the treasury. See what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Well, it's an example. It's
No,
an
no,
example.
no, not, but a lot of the people that owe money owe a lot of money. Much, much more than I think we're gonna be able to come up with.
Right,
So I just,
right. I also heard a story of somebody losing a house for a lot less.
I know.
So this is an unknown. You know more than I do about what people.
Ambulance 2,
I know I don't.
On the
That's
actual
what I
She
don't.
really,
at
She
384.
probably has a list.
she does.
But
do you have an idea, man, of what our top grant amount should be?
What our top what?
That people owe right now, right? Like, of people that owe like a lot of money and are at risk of, losing their house, yada, yada, yada. What is it that you would say is like a top number? Like 1,000, 2, 5?
You mean the maximum amount that somebody owes in tax title?
For the city of Greenfield historically, generally speaking.
Well, I think that does not vary, you gave me a list and there was one that was like 14 years old that was like 60,000.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
there's there's some that are 60,000. They're very old and they're in land court. And then there's some that are a couple thousand.
Yeah, I think there were a dozen that were 2,500 or less. that
Yeah, I would
tried to
say.
chase down.
I don't have my computer with me today, so I can't look right now.
Remind me, I believe that the way we've structured it is they apply and it gets applied to that particular taxable year. Is that right? Grant?
we don't specify that.
I
We
think
don't
it's
we didn't
also-
specify, but I would think that it would go, so whenever someone comes in and pays their taxes, it typically goes to the oldest taxes unless they specify that they want it to go to to their current.
So how do we make, I mean, obviously we want to help as many people as possible.
I mean, if they're in tax title, obviously we would be applying it against their tax title because that's the whole point. We don't want to take their house.
Right. Right. So how do we set a ceiling maximum? Because I can't imagine we're gonna be able to make $60,000 to one person.
No, and that wouldn't be one of our top priorities because right now that one's even in land court. So, I mean, I don't even think anybody for that piece of property would apply for it because I don't even know that there's anyone around for it.
Yeah, you gave me a list and I did some work on that and there were eight people that owed less than $1,000. And 12 that owed between 1,000 and 2,500. So those that were, say, 2,500, all of them are deceased, and the oldest one goes back to like 2017.
Okay,
Okay,
so if we set it at like 3 or 4.
So, I think the point is that when somebody's dead and they're in tax title,
good luck.
Yeah,
they
Yeah.
can't apply.
no.
And if
And
you,
if they do, we should be highly suspicious.
um,
So if we set a max of $1,000, let's say. From what you just said, there's 8 people who owe less than $1,000.
Hmm.
There's 12 people who owe 2,500 and under, or between 1,000 and 2,500.
Yeah.
So that's a total of 20 people right there. That $1,000 would give them a leg up for sure.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, if I owe
Okay.
2,500 and someone gave me 1,000, I'd be pretty goddamn happy.
Yeah,
And doable, can I get, how do I
how do I get
work
the
out
other
that other
1,200?
1,500?
My only concern is, I would love if we could be like, okay, let's. From the nurses that you guys have provided, if it was something like 3 or 4, where you could just be like, this is just taken care of. Up until now. I mean, what happens in the future, we don't know, but it just seems a little wrong for me to be like putting someone in limbo. Because obviously they are at a economic financial position in which they're, trying to move around, splashing around like a fish, trying to like come up with something, yeah. Where- We, as a committee, are able to help them, right? So if we stick to 1,000 limit, my concern would be like, if there's a substantial amount of people who are, let's say, 14, 1,500, 2,000, where, yes, it is very nice that we will give them 1,000, but then they still have to worry about, they still have that sword hanging over their neck, where they're like, oh my God, I'm still having to do this. Whereas if it's at, I don't know, like 3, for example, or 4, where they could be like, okay, this is a breath of fresh air. This committee, this via the city, has been able to truly free me from this thing that I've been trying to do.
I think you have to take a look at how they got into their situation. And, I'm dealing with a case now of a person who, she's $4,000 or 3,400. Remember, it was a woman that you and I talked about. It was like
Yeah,
$3,400 for the
right.
first
Mhm.
bills. And, looking at her financials, she has free cash of maybe $200 a month.
Mm.
So I have been searching for some way to either permanently defer this, that's an 18, temporary deferment for 3 years or 3 fiscal years, 18A. She's only going to get in trouble again.
Yes.
And once she gets in trouble, there's no way out of it. And I'm just saying that there are going to be people like this, and you're not going to be able, I don't think you're going to be able to solve their long-term problem. You can put a Band-Aid on it,
Yeah.
and that'll get them over maybe this tax bill. But beyond
it's-
that, they're dead.
It seems like that in
They're
that
not dead,
situation, the city's not collecting funds in which it otherwise could be through this committee, right? That person who's on $200 a month or something like that isn't going to be able to
No,
come up with the leftover 2,000
Right.
after we cover their 1,000.
that's
Right.
exactly right.
And so that's not gonna be paid to the city. That's not going into the city coffers.
But you're not solving the problem either.
If we had $1,000 limit, but
I don't care what the number is.
Yeah.
There will always be a number.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
somebody who got into trouble
Yeah.
and will be unable to get out of trouble.
Yeah.
And if I don't think we can prevent people from,
No.
getting into trouble in the future.
Oh, absolutely not.
So all we can do,
But I also
take
think
the
about
pressure off.
the city's budget, like this is a way. In perhaps a minuscule way, but for the city to be able to recoup funds in a way that otherwise it would not be able to.
Right.
Well,
Yeah, whatever funds we raise from outside entities.
Because we're assuming, and I think it's a accurate assumption, is that the people that we are helping to pay off their taxes, they would not they would probably end up homeless or they would, do whatever it happens, but regardless, it's not gonna be paid. Meaning that the city is not getting these funds. The city is at a deficit
Yeah.
on that account.
yeah, well, then now you're shifting the focus from we're trying to help people to. we're
I think
trying to
this
have
does
money.
multiple.
Well, I mean, it certainly does multiple things, but I think you have to recognize that we're not going to be able to help people out of their situation. And the best we can do is give them a leg up. And sort of the byproduct of that is, yeah, the city gets a couple of thousand that they wouldn't have otherwise gotten. But that isn't, which I'm fine with, but what is our role? I don't think we can ever keep people out of trouble.
Right, and we're not social workers.
No, that's true.
That's not our role.
No, sure.
Nor, I mean, in terms of judgmental stuff as well.
Yeah.
People make decisions about where they spend their money and where they don't spend their money.
That's right.
That's a whole other movie we don't have to watch.
Yeah.
That's why we created the criteria,
Right.
Yes.
and that's what we go by.
And in that term, given that we can't, help people who have made bad decisions or have had bad stuff. I see no reason why we can't cap it at $1,000. Because they're gonna get in trouble anyway.
And 1,000 can help. I mean, you don't know that their old boyfriend who may feel guilty about their breakup from 10 years ago might be willing to kick in the other 1,500 or
I
whatever.
wish I had one of them.
What's his name, Paul?
One of my concerns is that we partially help someone,
Right.
right? To the point where, yes, it helps them, right? It does not change their economic situation. This is not giving them 1,000. This is just taking
That's right.
1,000 out. They don't actually have 1,000.
Right.
This is just taking out. Yeah. And so then in the next fiscal cycle, they're back at us again.
Well,
Well, they can do that. I mean, but we're, clearly, we're gonna try to service as many people as we can, and somebody else comes to the well. For a second time, we evaluate that, but of course, we take into account that they've already collected.
already got a bucket of water.
Right.
Exactly.
So are we ready to have a formal motion there's two issues. One is the some fundraising target, which we haven't talked about.
Right.
And the second one is, what is our maximum grant going to be, which is what we have been talking.
Mhm.
So we need to have a formal motion if we're gonna set a maximum grant amount.
Yes.
So,
Yeah, let me suggest something. I think we should have a standard maximum. And the reason I say that is I was just reading Steve Nemberkow's memo from the orders that had to do with the HERO Act.
Mhm.
Okay, and in that, he said, we're not gonna do 18A. Because it puts the assessors in a position where they could be non-uniform. And, yeah, right, and therefore, having a maximum, we can drive it right into the maximum. And that may be our uniform stance, or, we'll have reasons for going below that.
Right.
So I think there's a good reason to have a maximum, and now the issue is, should it be $1,000, couple of thousand? I think we have to be careful if we set it too high. There'll be some people who may not deserve that for whatever reason, and we've got to be very clear on.
But then we can, there's a list of criteria, right? And if we see, okay, this person has a history of not doing this, right? And they have available cash in which they can pay. All right, because we can see their assets, we can see a bunch of other things, right? And we can just deny that person,
Precisely.
you know, rather than my concern is us limiting ourselves so much to the point where we then forego the whole point of this, which is to truly, actually, legitimately help someone who's in a dire situation of need. In which we're like, okay, yeah, we kind of helped you, but just kidding, you still have this like substantive amount that you have to. Well, that's not saying, hey, they won't come to that conclusion again in a year or two.
So
So,
there's a
From
statement,
the numbers that I've seen where there's like 1,800 or 2 or 25. Like there seems to be a significant amount of people who are.
information.
My eyes are closed.
Come on, guys.
so,
So, point of information here.
yeah,
There's something called fair and equitable treatment.
Right.
You see it in every union contract. That's why there are union contracts, so folks get fair and equitable treatment. I would like to see the same standard for this committee. So setting a maximum amount does that.
Yes,
You know, is the right, some paperwork comes across the desk, oh, and that's my Aunt Sadie. Of course, I want to give her more,
mhm.
because that's my Aunt Sadie.
Right.
Versus, that's my ex, not a dime.
no, I agree that there's.
So-
Absolutely.
So the
She's mean.
maximum grant of, he's dead anyway. The maximum grant amount.
And good for.
So, yeah, maximum grant amount, I think.
Condolences.
Yeah. I didn't do it.
That's right. And you have the right to remain silent.
Thank you, Counselor. All right. So I'd like to propose a maximum grant amount of $1,000.
Yeah, is there a second?
I would like to propose 2. From the
We have to
information.
vote on my
Okay.
proposal first. Do you have a second?
Is there a
Yeah,
second?
I second. I think we need a maximum, and I think it's a judgment call, and you called first. So I second it.
Is there further discussion about the motion for $1,000 maximum grant? What to discuss?
I think I kind of said it already, but I do think that, yes, I agree with you guys that a maximum should be set so that there is a standard, so that there's no, space or room for, discrimination or bias or any of those things. My only concern with 1,000, given the information that you just said,
Yeah.
is that it will not, for a substantial amount of folks, it will not make a major difference in their day-to-day life, which is, I don't know if that's like too hopeful for me, but that's the whole reason I brought this committee into existence, is that we could, even if it's 5 feet, And so I think for that, I'm not saying that, how dare you have 1,000, what I mean is just if we could do like 2,000, given just the numbers that you told us
Mhm.
about, I think that could help people in a much more substantive way.
Mhm.
Now, if someone, that doesn't mean every single person gets 2,000,
Mhm.
right? If we think, given their criteria and their assets and their previous behavior and history,
Mhm.
if we think that they can be fine with 500, we can do 500.
I'd like to withdraw my proposal.
Yeah.
I'm actually agreeing with him, and the reason why, part of it is, the senior, the senior work off is 2,000.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So maybe that, it does make sense.
How about this?
I second, Wahab.
Okay.
I think
Well,
1,000's too low.
Let's make, you withdrawing your motion.
Yes, I am.
All right.
You want to just.
Now.
Okay.
Okay.
Something.
Yes,
We pay one of the tax bills in total. So if somebody has a tax bill and, you know, maybe a couple are behind, we pay one of them. And, you know, given the nature of people who are likely to get in trouble, their tax bill will not be very large. One of them. So it may be $2,500, but if we state it as one of the tax bills, I mean, that to me is something, it isn't like we're giving you money, we're paying one of your tax bills. And even if the amount is the same, it just sounds and looks better as we're paying one of the tax bills.
When you're talking about one of the tax bills, you're talking about an annual tax bill
Oh,
or?
no, there are 4 quarterly
Yeah,
tax bills.
quarterly.
I'm talking about one of the 4.
You are describing I'm not saying it's illegitimate, but you can decide, describing a very different approach than the specific dollar amount.
I agree,
Okay.
but I'm,
There's a proposal on the table
Yeah,
that's been seconded,
that has
so we
been
have
said.
to vote.
Yes, so. If you want to pursue your view that we pay one quarterly tax bill. That may be legitimate, but you have to vote against this motion, so,
well,
all right.
you know, I'd like to have that discussion about whether, I mean, that's an alternative. I really, you know, frankly, I don't care whether it's $2,000 or one tax bill. To me, the optics of one tax bill is a little better than $2,000, but, you know, I'm easy.
Right.
Let the record show.
Up to a point.
Up to, all right.
But that's the only reason I'm suggesting that alternative, but I am fine with $2,000 if everybody else is.
Okay, cool. Other
Okay,
question?
yes, Mandy, did you want to add anything?
No,
So the motion before is that the limit for any particular grant be $2,000. And all those in favor say aye.
I,
We have to do a roll call.
Do you do a roll call vote?
Okay, we'll do a roll call vote. Mandy, what's your vote?
I am for it.
And,
Aye.
okay,
Aye.
wow,
Jim Grossman.
okay,
So
it passes.
text.
Do I have to vote on a roll call vote or as chairperson of my? Not-
Yes, you also.
Okay, I agree.
Okay.
All right, so we've set a particular limit to any grant. Do we now want to turn our attention to trying to set a fundraising goal? And the number $20,000 has been tossed around.
I think we do need a goal because.
Goals are nice.
Well, I think just when you're doing fundraising, you have to have a goal. You have to have a goal both for yourself and for the donors. And it can't be. And I think the goal has to appear realistic enough so that if a donor put in money, it wouldn't be like, plugging the dike. You know what I mean? You know, that this project has a good chance of succeeding. And so I think, you know, that speaks to something that's less than ambitious than the 50,000 that Al was talking about. And 20,000 seems reasonable. It could be a little higher. Doesn't have to be.
We also understand that this is gonna be an annualized thing.
Yeah.
And, you know, let's see, 20,000 seems like a substantial amount of money, but a reachable amount of money.
Initially, yes.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and I mean, if we use it up, good. And if we can then say, look at how all these people, you know, there was a woman whose husband abandoned her, you know, in the middle of winter. And her 2 small children.
Not a cracker in the cupboard, I know.
You know.
Yeah, I agree with that point. I mean, I was talking to other community members who were like, oh my God, 20 might be too low. And I was like, I don't think it's possible for us, but also I don't think our goal is to be like, oh my God, $20,001, we're not taking it. I don't think we're gonna do that. We're gonna be like, oh, happily, absolutely. If we reach 30, God bless.
Yeah.
That would be amazing.
Well, and I think the other thing is you just don't tell people where you are.
Yes, yes, you're
Yeah,
absolutely.
and the fundraising is going very well.
Last time I checked, the United Fund doesn't stop collecting money.
Yo, yo,
No
yo,
matter where they are.
yo, yo.
Same thing.
And I do think 20 is something that is doable, but also big enough where it can have an impact, which is what we're trying to. So
I like round numbers, so, I mean, 20 is a round number, but 25,
Yeah.
I think is, you know, a round number. I mean, people, you know, 100,000, 50,000, 25.
25.
Yeah.
I'm totally okay with that.
So I would propose 25,000 being our fundraising goal.
There's a motion. Yeah. Is that a motion?
Yes, that is, I move that our fundraising goal be 25,000.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Okay,
Is there any further discussion? Okay, all those in, do we have to do roll call? All right. Okay, Mandy, do you feel like 25,000 on the motion of $25,000? Are you for or against it?
For it, aye.
Okay,
I,
Patty is aye, Bob is aye,
And Jim is.
Jim is aye, and I am aye. I am aye. It passes unanimous. Okay, so, we're trouble reading. What is our next, line item on the fundraising stuff? The identification of potential donors? Is that what-
development of materials for
Oh, yeah.
fundraising, we need to back up here.
Yep.
Now, let me try to understand this. The final documents of the criteria and the application are with who? You or you? Who has the final?
I,
copy?
I have the final copy because I did the editing.
Yes,
And then I did send it to Jonathan, the communications director, in the mayor's office, and he has posted it on our website as well.
oh, it is posted on the website.
Correct.
Does Al know that?
I believe he does, because I want to say in one of his emails, he had asked, but then he followed up with that he saw it online.
Good.
Where is it on the city website?
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, in which department?
I don't know, it's under accessors, but I don't know if he, made a page for our committee or if he's going to. I can check with him on that, but it is under the accessors page.
I don't think so.
Huh?
I don't think so at this.
You don't
time.
think so? Oh, that's where said he was gonna put it. Let me see if I can find it.
Well, let's see, we're a committee, so it should be under that, right? Oh, no, that's the department, well, this would be under maybe treasurer collector or assessor for maybe, let me check. Collector. That was it. Yes, tax, treasurer collector. Not there, and I'll check the assessor site. And I don't remember it being there either. And I've been, you know, because of this, woman I'm trying to help out, I've been. Okay, so we have nothing about, the elderly and disabled tax funding.
If perhaps, right now I'm on.
Oh, I'm sorry, wait a minute. There is under assessor resources.
Okay.
See what it says. Okay, purpose of the fund applications. Applications, yeah, it's all there.
It's on the line. I'm sorry.
Is that under exemptions or what is that?
No, if you go to the left, there's related pages. Here's the assessor side.
Mm-hmm.
I just hit that top link.
Oh, okay, yes, I'll do it in this, that's really perfect,
Okay,
perfect.
Okay.
so it.
It is under accessors, correct?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, under the sub menu, if you're doing it from your phone.
Well, yeah, but the issue is it's on the related pages, not
Mhm.
on the main assessor page.
If there was, right, if you go to the assessors,
Yeah.
right, and then you see all these links,
Yeah.
if potentially we could have an additional link
Yeah,
that says elderly disabled taxation
Yeah.
fund, and it goes to,
and it goes to the elderly.
yes.
Disabled
yes,
tax fund page.
instead of going to a sub menu and then a related page.
Right, and instead of going to the left, the assessor.
Yes.
We're going to, yeah.
Okay, so
So,
those are online. In terms of fundraising materials, Jim has finished up the prospectus
okay,
and I just did the editing. We have set initial goal of fundraising of $25,000 and I want to take out the rest of that sentence so we can make a difference to 500 neighbors because we don't know how many
Yeah.
you're talking about. So we have set an initial goal of raising $25,000.
Period.
Period. And that's the only editing I see on you. Did you get a copy of this? And I did print this out.
Now, when we're having, doing an ask. I think it is very likely to say, oh, what's the $25,000 gonna do? Oh, it'll help people. How many people? So, I mean, we have to be able to respond to that.
Right.
You know, I
We
mean,
can
the answer
say a
is,
maximum of $2,000 per person, and given an average of, let's say,
fine.
20 people who would be in this situation, we could help up to X amount of people with the 20,000.
yeah,
So 20,000 with
25.
two
25.
would be
25.
25.
with two,
Be 100. Oh, that's 24,000.
Yeah, that's,
Yeah, so
But-
we have about a dozen people.
yes, exactly. So we could help around like 10 or so.
And that's our initial.
That's our initial.
So, yes.
And the more we can get, the more.
And this is why I want to make sure, and I'm gonna say this a lot, so you're gonna have to put up with me. I want to make, I understand that Mitch and Joe have already gone to the Greenfield Cooperative Bank and had a discussion about this. Who authorized that? No one authorized that. They are not representing the
But
city.
I will say this, before this committee had even formalized.
Yeah.
This was a central part of my campaign when I was, we had talked with representatives from different banks, businesses, because that's just my circle. And we had proposed such an idea to them, and we were like, okay, these are one of the things that I'm running. I would like to form this committee, right? Is this something that you could potentially want to donate to? And what is it, 2 years now ago, those people had said a willingness to be like, okay, yes, we would. And so I think that is the
I see.
continuation of that rather than them just flying off and doing.
Okay, that was not clear.
Yes,
But that's a lot different than going and soliciting that.
yes.
And we want to make sure that the solicitations,
Yeah.
if outsiders other than us
Yeah.
are involved, one of us is involved.
Exactly,
Oh, yeah.
exactly.
So I don't know about Joe and Mitch and the most recent contact.
But I would just like to say, without Mitch and Joe, this would have not even
Oh,
existed.
no, I have great respect for what they.
Because when I was running my campaign.
Yeah.
And we were brainstorming ways in which we could materially benefit the citizenry. This was one of the things that they brought up,
Okay,
in which I looked into, and then I was like, okay, this is legit. I've
Mhm.
never heard of this before.
Sure.
right.
In which the next the next step of that process was, okay, while I'm campaigning and I'm talking to business leaders, whatever, we propose it to them to see, hey, is this even a
Yeah.
viable idea? In which we
Yeah.
saw a good response,
Right.
and we were like, okay, cool.
Yeah, he was
So,
just-
and those relationships have existed, those people still come to my gas station, those people still talk to Mission Joe,
Okay.
and they have been asking us, hey, when is this becoming a thing?
I
So
see.
that we can. do it.
It's a very different.
Yes,
And also,
so,
Actually-
and I think that wasn't
No, none,
Clarify.
no, all Al wrote is Mr. Joe. Oh, I'm like, when did that happen? Hello?
Well, additionally, we can't prevent anybody, any private citizen from making suggestions to somebody else, you know?
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah, but
like-
they can't solicit in our name.
No,
That
not
was
in
my
our name,
concern.
not in our name, but I mean, I can go to my neighbors and say, you know, the United Way does a lot of good things, you know, you should think
Yeah.
about giving to them. you
If,
know?
if citizens, and it's not just Commissioner Jordan, but anyone
Yeah,
wants to volunteer their time and effort in order to make some connections and bring up our name to a potential funder, God bless. them.
Well, yes,
Absolutely.
yeah, but it,
but then we make the initial,
But then the ask has to be us.
it has to.
so in terms of the ask, we've got we've got the black and white prospectus.
Yeah,
We do need it dressed up. for
Yes.
Handing out.
yes.
How is that going to happen?
Well, Jim, who wrote it, basically, I wrote some of it, but he wrote a lot of it.
You started,
I
you
started-
started.
Okay, so then I will go back in and edit what needs to be edited. I will then send it to Mandy, who will then send it to Jonathan to make it pretty. It has to go on city stationery, correct? It has to be,
Yeah, so I talked to Jonathan and he said that he could definitely work on designing that for us.
good.
He did have questions and he said that there may be more questions once he starts working on it. He can't, until he sees what he's signing up for, he can't 100% commit, but he said as long as he has everything, he could work on that for us.
Great.
And what is that?
He works for the city, right?
Yeah, he's the
Yes.
county. He's the
Thank
county's guy.
Thank you.
Yes, but what is it that he could do?
He can.
It needs to go on to city stationery.
Yeah, the
Format.
city,
He's pretty. Mhm.
the city stationery, he had questioned, do we want it on social media? Do we want him to do a flyer, pamphlets?
My anticipation was yes to all of the above.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I would like him to at least put forth the prototypes to say, okay, if you want flyers and you want social media coverage, and handouts, here's what we're gonna get.
Yeah.
Do you think that's reasonable for a month from now or whenever we're next meeting?
He did say that he can work on it and have it ready, potentially for our next meeting. So I'll just need it as soon as possible so he can work on that. He was gonna try to attend the meeting today, but he had already, had prior commitments, so.
So Randy, you got the prospectus from Jim, right? Like we all did. Correct? You sent it to Mandy.
Yeah,
Okay, so if you find that,
yeah,
you just have to change the 20,000 to 25,000 and get rid of
Okay.
the sentence and it's done.
okay,
Just have, one thing.
Oh,
Because of my lack of connectivity to my emails, I was not able to see this.
oh,
The
okay.
only thing I would say, I think this is perfect, this is amazing. The only thing I would say is if we could fluff it up to make it more palatable and more attractive for a potential funder, in which we could just say a sentence or two about after where we say the tax funds money comes from volunteer donations from individuals, organizations. We could talk about how in the spirit of collaboration and cooperation and community, we believe that people and organizations and people who donate to this cause would be appreciated and would contribute to the welfare of our community, something that
Is this
just
a
makes them be like,
recognition piece?
yes, kind of, something where they're like, oh, okay, if I do this, I'm being seen, I'm being thanked, I'm being appreciated.
I'm just thinking about what, my wife, was working on the library project, and one of the big things there was, the naming. There's naming and sort of the wall of fame or whatever it is, you know, that lists all the major donors. That we're basically talking about a similar thing. In other words, in promoting the, fund, will be recognizing the charter donors
Yes.
and the ongoing donors, and then maybe at some point we'll do silver, bronze, gold, diamond, you know, all that other stuff for tiers.
That is a great idea because we could potentially with the section that we have on the city website, we could put in here in this document that a potential funder could see, oh, okay, my name can be listed on the city website for that fiscal year's donations.
Yeah, I don't.
If they want to.
No, I don't know.
Section 3. Respond to aircraft standby at 155 Federal Street.
Specific, organizations. I don't know whether that can be done. That's just a question in my mind.
Mhm.
Like through the rec department, there's a bunch of different things that happen, like events. And if there's a private entity or even like a nonprofit.
But I don't think it's on the website.
It's not on the website.
I don't think so. I haven't checked. But I think that's a Jonathan question.
Okay,
I mean, can we get visibility on the city
Okay.
website? Or the visibility will be on whatever handout
Yeah.
materials.
social media, pamphlet, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay, so to move the discussion along, you'll be giving the protocol,
Respect this.
prospectus to Jonathan. He will put it into social media format, a pamphlet and an announcement, a handout. Is that what we said?
And in effect, this is a product launch.
Yeah,
And I think what we need. I agree Jonathan needs to do all those things, but I think what we need to think of it as part of a launch.
Right.
You know, and there'll be an initial shot that talks about, well, we're ready to do this. We're just beginning our fundraising. And then here's the prospectus and the people that we contact, sort of thing. Does that make sense?
what I'm trying to move forward is separating out the printed materials to the other fundraising effort, if you follow what I'm saying. Let's have Jonathan put together the
Oh, I
materials.
agree.
Everybody agrees with that.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then so should we have Jonathan come to our next meeting with the materials that he's developed? Mandy, would that make sense? I think that makes sense, doesn't it?
Where did you go?
He disappeared.
We're looking at ourselves for some strange reason.
And we're actually looking at David, he's the center of attention.
Well, as well, it should be.
Mandy, are you there?
And she's
Could be she has left.
I think she shut herself off. I don't know what happened.
Whoa.
Well,
Actually, nothing changed.
in any case, you're right, David. We can have him work on this.
Yes,
And in the context of reviewing the materials, we talk about how this thing gets launched
right.
and
Yeah.
and he helps us do that.
So let's, I can extend an invite to him for our next meeting. And, you know, I'll send him an email probably tomorrow saying, you know, Mandy has the prospectus. We understand you're going to be putting it into 3 different formats, and we'd like to have you come to our next meeting.
So why are we doing 3 different formats? I understand the social media piece
Right,
and a brochure.
right.
If we have a brochure, that's what we're gonna be giving people when we walk into an office.
I'm thinking about the third one as a notice to the public for potential recipients. There should be something of that nature for people who might be applicants to our fund.
We soliciting applicants.
Yeah.
but-
We haven't got that prepared yet.
No,
I think, well, soliciting applicants is
We're
the
not,
least of
we're
our
not
problems.
near there yet.
You know,
no,
but I mean, you're right. At some point, we go public and we say, we're operational
Yeah.
and
people, you
and
know,
we can reach out to
people will come to
because we know-
your office or the assessor's office and go, I understand there's this fund, and you can hear them. You know, here it is, here's the start, you know, what we're talking about, you want an application, fine. Here's something that explains it for the potential people that are gonna need it. Right.
So let's take a step back for a minute. On the prospectus,
Hmm.
we just said that there should be a recognition piece in,
I'm crafting it.
you're crafting it right now, good, all right.
If you don't have access to email, so you can pass it on to.
We're gonna have to go the centuries old route of.
Go.
and then
Go ahead.
No, I mean, if you want to, I can take this and. Oh, there you are.
I'm
Nancy.
back.
Hi,
Okay.
lost you.
My
Yeah,
phone
this-
died.
Okay.
So yes, I can check with Jonathan to see if he can attend our next meeting. I don't know what his schedule looks like. If
Yeah.
not, I'll have everything that he
Okay.
has. Hopefully maybe we can have it before then so you guys can see it.
And I'll send him an email tomorrow that just basically says he would like to invite you to our next meeting, because
Which is January 29th,
Okay.
is that what it is?
fourth Thursday, right?
No, that's
Yeah.
the fifth. That's the fifth Thursday.
That's the 5th Thursday.
Oh, you're right, it's the 22nd,
Yeah,
22nd.
January 22nd.
all right.
Also February and March,
I'm trying to look at my phone.
I will be out of the country.
Good for you.
Plug that in.
Will you be able to get back in?
That is actually legitimate.
Yes, it is a legitimate.
Not because of the US.
Got a goddamn lawyer?
Oh, I have an American citizenship, not because of the American, because of the government in which I'm traveling to. It's a full-blown dictatorship. So I'm trying to make preparations to be like, if I get lost and you guys don't hear of me, please.
What sort of car do you
Where are you going?
I'm going to Pakistan, which is where we're from.
Yeah.
And 3 years ago, there was a coup of a democratically elected government, and there's been a military dictatorship since.
That's right, yeah.
And like I've had family members who have been arrested,
Oh,
and it's bad. It's really bad. So I'm trying to make preparations with U.S. authorities to be like, hey, if I get lost, which that has happened to so many American citizens, with the administration right now, where they're just like, yeah,
well,
who cares? You're being tortured in a foreign country.
I'm thinking of these people that just sort of disappear. I mean, we grab them and you're
Yep,
So I did craft a little thing if you guys want to. You can critique it all you want. I have no.
why don't you just hand it to him?
yeah.
If you could read my chicken scratch, I mean, you could attempt. But it's really bad.
Collaboration, mutual aid is essential. A vibrant community and all our donors are a fundamental part of community service. And the material, service and material.
Okay. You want me to just read it out?
Of material aid for those most vulnerable. All entities that contribute to the fund will be recognized through the city to appreciate their effort.
It leaves it
Something like
open-ended
that.
enough where it's not like, oh my god,
So
I
here-
my name was off.
Yeah, I've got 25.
But it's like
And
gives them a
recognition.
reassurance
Yeah.
that-
That goes right here,
There'll be some kind of.
Yeah,
see
okay,
the star?
yeah, sure.
Okay.
But it was-
You can just take that. Thank you.
yeah, sure.
All right. So how is this revised prospectus? Because we have made revisions to it too.
Do we want to vote on that, or is this just like a drafting document? I think it's just.
Let me, yeah, I think this is a draft. We'll approve it at our next meeting. Oh, can we?
No, we probably
We
should
should
approve
approve
it
it
now.
now. Should approve
We
it
should
now,
approve it now.
so that we can send it
So that we
over.
can send it over to Jonathan and get
Okay,
him.
then it's the amendment, amending it that we're talking.
We've, okay, so we've agreed on the amended. So the question is, we've agreed to a certain amendment of the document, which is the recognition piece.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, so
And the
If you
25.
guys are down.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so is there,
I am making a proposal that we accept the amendment to the document
Mhm.
and then call it the document.
Okay.
Okay. Amend the
Second.
document with a recognition piece.
Exactly.
I second.
All right. So it's been motioned and seconded.
I'll take it.
Okay. Mandy, are you in favor of that?
Hi.
Patty?
Aye.
Here.
Two.
Okay.
All right. It passes. Okay. All right, where are we next?
January 28th is our next meeting.
No, 22nd.
22nd.
I was on
22nd.
Put that in mind.
Yeah,
the fourth Thursday.
And then there was another subtitle and I can't read it. The agenda, what is it?
Identification of potential voters and discussion, who should approach them.
Okay.
Where it's like they should, some member of the community, of the committee should be.
Yes.
and the actual.
The solicitation.
Yeah.
of-
Yes, but here's the thing. Because of the history you have laid out this evening, which I had no knowledge of, and I don't know if anybody else had any knowledge of, it seems like that there's already some soft targets,
Right.
Yes.
okay? So if you could, for the next meeting, have a list of those soft targets
Yes.
for us, and
Yep.
that way we can divide up
Yep.
that labor.
Yep.
And, and you and Al, whoever wants to, I mean, obviously you are part of the committee.
Yep.
But if one of them wishes to attend one of those meetings with one of us, we can get that organized.
You know, our list is all these folks.
Yes. I think those are just like people who we could potentially,
That's
right?
our wish list.
And then there's a list that I and Mitch and John have who we've talked to amongst us.
That's all.
That's the list we want, the
Yeah.
soft list.
Yeah.
That's what we start,
Okay.
happy people.
So do we just start with a list for, and our next meeting, we go, okay, you're gonna take so and so and so and so and so and so, and you're gonna take this so and so and so and so. Okay, so next, we have a list. And we will, I suggest that we publish that amongst ourselves before the next meeting.
This.
You have-
You have this from Al.
Came from.
Okay, oh, okay. Yeah.
So maybe-
But that's a potential list, but there's a different list
Yeah,
that
yeah.
Wahab is gonna create.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the soft
He
list
is, and this is the
Yes.
guy.
Yeah. Yes.
that we will go over at the next meeting in November,
Okay.
and we can get that rolling.
Okay,
Yep.
and then the next meeting will have the finalization of at least the initial solicitation.
And
Entities that- and people that are being solicited.
we'll have a perspective.
Yes.
Have a
With the
perspective.
recognition.
Then we will, then divide up responsibilities amongst ourselves as to who's gonna contact who.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay, all right.
Okay.
Good.
now. When are you leaving?
I am.
Because I was,
leaving-
go, oh, gee, my friends, we just have a quorum left, don't get sick. Can't get sick, because you're going when?
I'm leaving February 18th. And I'll be gone till like March 28th, 29th.
And David,
I might be able to attend via Zoom.
Yeah, yes.
Like,
that would be the next thing.
That would be, actually, that might be good because then you could have a check-in to see if I'm alive or I'm dumped.
Well, let's hope. we don't have to
You know,
get-
my night was about this.
Yeah, I know.
What's the time difference between? each person?
So it's 2 hours back, so right now it's what?
Before the afternoon?
Right now it's 6:41, it is 4:41 in.
Okay, and you want to participate at 3:30 and 3:30?
I doubt I'm gonna sleep very much, it's the we're attending weddings and.
Yeah, that's right.
When are you leaving?
So I'm going to, the guide dog school at the end of December until the 1st of April, but I'll participate by Zoom. I just have to
Okay.
give up, the chair responsibilities.
Okay, so that means for the next meeting, I'm gonna have to
You're
make
gonna be
sure
the chair,
I get that.
Yeah.
Okay.
and I'll either, do I need to do anything formal to give up the chairmanship and all of Paul?
And circumstances. So just tell me when you get the, send in the, agenda to be posted. Jesus, you're a popular guy, was that your bookie?
Yeah, I know. I must have won big.
Maureen, do you really think people will?
I hope not. It would be entertaining. So, end of December, April 1st. So who do you send the agenda to?
Jonathan,
Okay.
Jonathan, and it has to be 48 hours in advance at a minimum. I almost missed the minimum. What was the problem with Mandy, what was the problem with my proposed agenda?
I didn't I didn't ask him, but they have like specific guidelines. Patty, I can send it to you. I did send it to you, David, because the clerk's office is not going to be reviewing them anymore, so it's up to us to make sure that they're correct. So I did send you the guidelines of what they are looking for. Patty, I'll send it to you so you're aware
Okay.
too.
Thank you.
Could you shoot it over to me
Sure.
for other purposes? I just want to know what's going
Yeah.
on, what Karen has to go through.
I hate being corrected.
Yeah, me too.
You know, it's like, that was perfectly
Happens to the
okay.
best of us.
You ain't being corrected, why are you here?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Why do I volunteer for this or any other public function?
Truly. Okay.
All right,
Okay,
so
I think that goes through every.
Is that
item on the
complete?
agenda.
agenda?
Think so.
Well, good. I will send Jonathan the email tomorrow that basically says you've got the prospectus and we'd like to see you on the 22nd of January at 5:30. All right, is that it? Is there any more business? Is there any public comment? Where's Al?
Al said he couldn't make it. He sent us a 18-page memo.
God bless him. God bless him. He works hard.
He looks
He
very good.
really hard. He works really
Thing
hard.
is, it has to be made clear, it'll work for me.
Oh, don't worry again.
That's not a cat, right?
Yes. What does that got to do with it?
You are the cat's servant.
Oh, and a dog. I'm pet slave.
See?
Got the t-shirt and everything.
You're already trained. to
Shut the
work with
door.
Al.
All right, and we ready to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Hi.
Have a nice holiday, folks.
Absolutely.
Thank you too.
See you later, Mandy. Hope you
Bye.
feel okay and hope the dog.
Merry
is okay.
solstice. Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, it will be getting light.